Welcome back, ARK players, to a brand new video. Now today we are going to be talking about something that the community have been pretty confused about, because this was obviously a major deal a couple of months back when it was first announced, and obviously I wanted to fill you guys in with what's going on with it. And yes, as you can tell by my face, I am like pretty burnt, just hot, sweaty, and loads of people in like my past videos have said, Dom, why don't you have AC? And just in the UK, it's very, very rare, and it's something that I'm probably going to need to invest in, because I didn't expect this summer to be so hot. And when I'm doing videos, oh my, I am literally boiling. But today, yes, as you'll be able to tell by the title, we're talking about ARK Aquatica, which is a brand new DLC which is launching for ARK Survival Evolved, and it's going to be something completely different from what we've ever really experienced on ARK Survival Evolved before. Obviously, it's got a lot of backlash. You know, I've even talked about the backlash too, and it's been delayed. So let's talk about this. If you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like, subscribe, and let's dive into today's video. So yes, ARK Aquatica has been delayed, and to be honest, I was very shocked if it actually launched when it was meant to launch, because how can you, as a publisher and a developer who care apparently about your brand, release Ragnarok Ascended and Aquatica at the same time, splitting up the community even more than it needs to be right now? We already know that the ASE devs, which is Studio Wildcard, have come out and said some of the reasons why they don't feel like loads of ARK Survival Evolved players have moved over to the new game. You know, they said things down to how the game isn't finished yet, you know, they're missing DLCs, loads of things like that. So releasing a DLC for the old game that is currently still beating them on Steam would absolutely erupt it. Everyone's like, do I play Ragnarok? Am I going to play Aquatica? What is going on in this situation? And obviously, the right decision was made to delay Aquatica. Now, Snail Games, who are obviously creating this actually in-house with no help from Studio Wildcard, released brand new screenshots for Aquatica and actually made it look quite beautiful, and made a lot of people saying like, wow, this could actually be a half decent DLC. And it's very hard not to agree with that when you actually look at it. But still, the same thing, like, you know, that we talked about in the past remains the same for this, is, you know, once you buy this DLC, how much support are you really going to get? Now, again, these screenshots do look great. If you're an OG ARK Survival Evolved player, this is the type of DLC that you were asking for a very, very long time. Have they actually got, I think they've pretty much got rid of all of the old stuff. They've like revamped the Steam page, and there's only 4 screenshots on there now, because it was all of the old terrible stuff. You remember the AI trailer, all of that stuff, and now it only remains with 4 of the screenshots, which actually makes the DLC look better, which is what clearly Snail Games have done, because they realized that when they did their AI stuff, that had not gone down well at all with the ARK community, and now they've actually probably put some money and invested into someone who can actually make some, you know, help make them a decent DLC. Now, one thing that I feel like a lot of OG ARK players might not even still understand with this is that Snail Games are going down the child-friendly route with this DLC, which is making me think how much of this version of ARK is going to be the same as what we've experienced before. As you could have seen before, you may have seen, they actually have a like child-friendly band perform their hit song for Aquatica, and they actually mentioned in their own words that they wanted to open up Aquatica to a whole new like demographic of people, which, as I said, was more child-friendly, which is making me think, you know, they know what response this DLC has had from the majority of the OG ARK players out there, and I think they've wanted to escape from what it was you know, that old ARK fanbase. It feels like they're trying to push that away so they can kind of make content for the younger generation who might not understand completely everything that's going on in the past, and they may play this for the first time, which is going to help them create more sales. And it does worry me how sort of child friendly they want to make this DLC. So Snail did actually go on and say that, you know, it's coming soon. So actually right now, no one knows the official release date for ARK Aquatica. You know, is it coming in July? Is it being delayed? Because I feel like this is ready, to be honest. I feel like they've been working on it for a long time. But I do feel like they've probably panicked after they saw the reviews and maybe they're making some tweaks to it. But this was the trailer that came officially at IGN Live 2025. So let's watch it. So being genuinely honest as an ARK player, when you watch this trailer, it looks pretty good. Like, be honest with me, it looks good. And by the way, I'm not doing a massive backflip on this whatsoever. I still completely disagree with absolutely everything that had happened here. But imagine Snail had gone ahead and done this in the first place and actually showed off this trailer without any of the AI stuff, without any of that, and they generally came out and said, oh, we want to make this DLC as a 10-year special for ARK Survival Evolved. We're not doing any more for ARK Survival Evolved after this, but we are going to give this our heart and our love, and we're going to put everything into this to make it the best and final DLC for ARK Survival Evolved. It may have actually gone down pretty well. Obviously, the main thing is they actually have to make sure it plays well, and obviously it doesn't look anywhere near as good as ASA, but obviously we've all loved the base game. So this trailer gave them somewhat of a comeback from the situation they were first in. But I'm not letting any of that slide. And I know that so much, you know, over time, Snail have talked about how they're going to go into AI and how they want that to be the future. And AI is great in so many different ways, but also it can be used awfully. And, you know, I've seen that, you know, I've tried to use AI myself with like thumbnails and things. I hated that I ever even tried that. I thought it was like a good idea. Knew it was a terrible idea. And they went as a multi-million-dollar company and created that awful trailer from before. So it's obviously dividing a lot of opinions and it's going to sell. But I can't see how it's going to sell enough copies, because you have to remember that on consoles, on Steam, it may be more, like ASE is played by more players on Steam, but on console, it has the bigger audience and ASA has the bigger audience. So they're going to be selling to a very, very small margin of their community compared to the whole thing. And that could have been different if things were done in a smarter way. Now, what I mean in a smarter way is that, you know, if this whole like, you know, division of the community never had to start in the first place. You know, at the beginning when ASE was, you know, we were promised a free upgrade to the main game. ASA came out as an unfinished game, and then like half of the community went over to ASA, half of the community stayed in ASE, and now we are in a place where a new DLC is coming out for the old game, so loads of people are going to go back to that. Then new DLCs are constantly coming back for the new game, and then loads of people go for that. It's just such a divide, and it shouldn't, in my personal opinion, it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't want people, of course, people go back to play nostalgia and everything like that, but it shouldn't be this big of a divide. And I don't think I've ever seen a game in history really ever have a divide in their fan base as much as this. It doesn't do well for the game in the longevity of things, it harms things, and I really believe that if they want to go and smash it out, do this DLC, brilliant. But then Snail, who have, who promoted and sold ASA to everyone as the next generation excitement of the ARK community, have to then go on from this and truly show and help out Wildcard why this was the next generation thing and why you sold this game to people for like $45. Because just going back to the old game, which I'm guessing Wildcard aren't going to get that much profit from, I really don't know. I don't know how the profits work in the company, but it's developed and it's published by Snail. Who actually really knows? So on launch, is this going to do well? I think it will sell a few copies. I definitely think people will dive back into it. There's a lot of OG ARK players that still play it. And I think a lot of people that are excited about the exclusive ASE Official Server support. But obviously, it's only limited time support for official servers. So if people end up buying this DLC, and this is the first, if I'm correct, in-house DLC made by Snail, if it's not good enough, the connection's awful, who knows what official server support? Are they working it through Nitrado? Are they working it through their own servers, their own in-house servers? Who really knows? We've not been told that information right now, but I guess it's something for the future for us to find out. We have no idea on the release date now, and I guess we will just wait and see for confirmation from Snail Games what on earth is actually happening with this DLC. Anyway, the 10 years of ARK has passed, which again is another thing that is classic of the ARK franchises. When it comes to dates, it's very strange to have a DLC that's meant to be celebrating 10 years of ARK, not actually to launch with 10 years of ARK, but clearly they didn't want to combat with, finally, someone thought it was not a clever idea to combat with Ragnarok, but yeah, anyway, catch you guys in my next video. I am going to go and get some air because you guys would probably see me dripping in this video. That's what it's like with the setup. I've told you guys I can't use the fan while the video is playing because it's like 5 years old and makes the loudest noise ever. But catch you guys in my next video.